Good morning, everyone. Embedded Monk here. This is Embedded Adventure, day 18, so yeah. Just to remind, in Embedded Adventure I'm as a complete beginner trying to do cool stuff with embedded systems, microcontrollers, all that thing. And the previous series, day 17, was pretty confusing, because I've tried to install the platformio just to test, just to debug the simple blink LED, and that was, I didn't like the experience actually. To start with, the platformio is just basically a Visual Studio extension, and that's what I didn't like it in the first place, but okay. And secondly, I wasn't. I was able to build it only in like half an hour. It was pretty not very intuitive, and the thing is, it's not very different from just basically compiling it with IDF. But nevertheless, I know that platformio gives you some capabilities to debug your programs, to see like memory layout on your esp32, all that stuff. So I really want to actually see how it looks like, and maybe use it sometimes, because that thing seems pretty handy. Seems like a handy tool to debug the memory problems, memory different faults, all that things. But to be honest with you, I didn't like the experience, so I probably will continue to just code plain C and compile it with ESP-IDF, but, well, maybe from time to time debug it in platformio. Yeah, so today, the plan minimum, is to just try to debug the program to see the memory layout, if it's possible for my board, and yeah, let's go. Okay, so as far as I remember, we have already built that thing. Haven't remembered actually the comments like pio CLI comments. I just wanted to remember them a little bit. Yeah, so pio run and pio upload. We have actually successfully uploaded the project. By the way, I just use the simple LED blink. So just want to see how it works, and that's all. Just only for debugging purposes. We're not actually creating one more blink LED. Oh my gosh, I've created like 4 different versions of it. Probably we should move on. So not today. Okay, let's just simply click the pio run here. Just to see if it was built or not. Can't remember. So it's compiling different stuff. And also debugging. I would like to actually see the debug platform IO. Maybe there is some official guide here. It simply works easier than ever before. Well, I hope. Yeah, I want to see that thing. I want to see exactly that thing. So assembly, addresses, all that stuff. Maybe registers if it's possible, but okay. How can I see it? Configuration. So yeah, by the way, I set the in platform ini file, set the debug tool to esp-prog, so probably it will help for some reason. Well, I hope it will be okay. Debug tool. Tools and debug. One moment. Are doing insert and debugging with platform. Use platform debugger on the ESP32 using esp-prog. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. Have you ever wanted to take a peek inside your code to see why it's behaving the way it is? Of course. That's why I have installed platformio in the first place. Traditionally in esp32 projects you would have had to add endless print statements to try figure out what was going on. One moment guys, I'm just gonna show you, or can I? I hope I can. Yep. I'm just gonna show you. Probably I should open another like Visual Studio Code for it, just to see like why am I doing that thing. Yeah, probably the most embarrassing was to debug some Wi-Fi experiments, I guess. Wi-Fi experiments. Yeah, Wi-Fi driver stopped, Wi-Fi driver needed. By the way, there were actually more prints here. Well, here of course, yeah, but these are like not like debugging, but okay, yeah. You probably can see the commit story on my GitHub repo. So it's finally compiled. Now, okay, let's continue. But there is a better way. A debugger is a way of seeing what is happening at particular sections of your code and to try out different variable values without recompiling your code. Usually this is not something available to us on embedded projects, but in this guide I will show you how to use it on an ESP32. Okay. So, hardware, parts and wiring. To use the debugger you only need an ESP-prog and almost any ESP32 board. Links to these in an earlier step. That breaks out pin 12, 13, 14, 15. By the way, ChatGPT said that my board isn't suitable. It said that it's only available for ESP32S3, C3 that have USB JTAG. By the way, I wonder, like, what is USB JTAG? Just pure curiosity. Is a built-in hardware debugger interface inside some ESP32 chips that lets your PC talk directly to the CPU debugger over USB without any external JTAG adapter. So it basically allows to send some debugging info while the program is compiling. Okay. They have a RISC-V ESP32 chip. But I actually have just simple ESP32 or like a original series without anything. What USB JTAG lets you do with platformio or ESP-IDF, hide CPU, set breakpoints, step line by line, restores memory. Okay, fair enough. So the ESP-prog is a board. Stop. ESP-prog is a board? I thought it's like a library tool. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Oh no. ESP-prog is one of these with functions, including automatic firmware downloading, serial communication, JTAG online debugging, USB what? So ESP-prog is simply a board. Damn. So you need one board for debugging another board. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure. Let's ask the mastermind. Is esp32 is a separate board for esp32? Hell no, man. Hell no. No, no. So I have to buy a board to debug another board, because this board does not, because esp32 does not support like USB JTAG, yeah? External volume board used with the esp32 devices. It is not an esp32 itself and does not run your firmware. What esp32 actually is? esp32 is an official expressive USB debugger programmer that provides JTAG USB to UART for flashing and serial monitoring. Why you would use if you have an older esp32 room, you want breakpoints which serve you. So either I have esp32C or esp32S boards, or I have standard esp32 and should buy esp32 esp32 board. Damn. Room. But I have just regular esp32, I don't know, like, is it like the esp32 room? Or what? I just can't really... Well, there's actually a QR code here, if you can see. There is a QR code. I actually have never thought of scanning it. Damn. By the way, let's actually scan that thing. Maybe I will find out exact model of my esp32. That'll help me. Okay. No, it simply Googles the esp32. I'm not joking, it's simple. Goes to Google and searching for esp32 when I'm scanning this QR code, so I know it's... Maybe it's not original actually. I don't know, but it works. It's good. Okay, let's continue. So basically this guide is made for debugging using this separate board, esp32. Yep. The esp32 basically what basically an adapter, I don't know, that provides JTAG and like USB to UART thing. esp32 debug. JTAG debugging 32s. Yeah, okay. One moment, guys. You know, I use VPN, so I'm just gonna switch to another one. One moment. Yep. Oh shit. Okay. One moment. Well, I probably don't need a... I hope it works. Yeah, it works fine. Okay, what is an easy way to get into debugging on ESP32s? I'm currently using a combination of cheap ESP32 from Amazon and Adafruit as 32 boards. I really don't care what ESP32 board I use. I would like to be able to start debugging my ESP32 code. What's a good way to get into that? Do any specific dev boards? Seems you've learned the answer and have amended some of your posts. Helpful to those finding. One might reasonably refer to the Perl of the ESP32 supports JTAG on the normal 4 pins in all newer parts. Yeah, too long, didn't read. Let's check this one. I just simply don't believe that you need a separate board for debugging on older ESP32s. Like, this is even not told. I understand, like, if you want to debug your ESP8266, because this is really an old board that probably, I thought it's like single core as far as I remember. It's also probably, as far as I remember, it doesn't have even like built-in Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so it's very old board. Maybe this is a guide for that old board. I don't know. Installing OpenOCD. I just want to see like what information can we get here. Like, will we be able to see like all that layout or what? Because if it's just breakpoints, well, it's also good to actually be able to set breakpoints on your code. That's also cool. But I would like to see the memory layout. Debugger, get started with Arduino. Okay. Yeah, by the way, I'll turn this on for a moment. Yep. Okay. Where I was reading about it, like to debug stuff. Okay, in the first place, found it. Yeah, I found it here. So this one is definitely not for me because I don't have ESP Pro board right now, and like I haven't planned to actually order it. Well, I can, of course, but I probably won't do it in terms of this video. So let's just see, are there any simpler options with the SPA? Unit testing approaches. In-circuit debugging. Let's check this link. Start with the ESPDF and the ESP32 dev kit debugging. sorry. For this tutorial to demonstrate how simple it is to use. It's good to develop, run, and debug a simple Wi-Fi project. Okay. Yeah, so let's follow this monkey guide, because we are monkeys. We currently don't really understand much in embedded systems. Okay. To the generated project. All right. Then it is this build option from the project tasks menu. They have project tasks menu. Where do they have it? Oh, here we go. I actually haven't saw that. Well, so that means that we can use both CLI and both that buttons. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It actually seems good. So when we are done building, we are simply uploading it. Yep. And when we uploaded it, then we click the serial monitor, start debugging. Yep. Let's try, by the way. I'm just gonna simply upload the code on my ESP. Yep. Gonna simply just connect that thing. Shit. Connected. Oh, by the way, I probably have flashed in the previous time because it's blinking. But okay, for safety purposes, let's try and do it again. Bio upload, I guess. Well, we can actually use that fancy buttons. Okay, so then I simply do what? I simply upload it, connect to the board to your computer, and update the default monitor speed to okay. To observe the output from the board. Board should be visible as a Wi-Fi access point. The hardware. Using the following pins. JTAG probe. What is a JTAG probe? JTAG probe. Hell no. Again, another thing. JTAG probe. Oh, again. Thank you, Reddit. Thank you, Reddit. Affordable, cheap JTAG probe for use with IRM and RISC-V. But no, I don't want to actually buy anything. Okay. So there is a problem. There is a problem that without any equipment we can't really debug that thing. Debug tool. To debug the board, firstly we need to specify. Framework. Well, what if I just hit start debugging? Like, I understand that. Well, by the way, I want to see like the available debug tools. So it says that they have these available tools. Jumpa. Okay. Just simply copy this. The platformio offers these debug tools. Are they all boards? All separate boards? Or is it just, I don't know, like libraries for debugging? The Zilla word is confusing. They are hardware debugger types for external debugging probes, so basically drivers for JTAG thing. Okay, platformio is asking what physical JTAG SWT probe are you using? Each entirely corresponds to a real physical debugging device or protocol except one special case. Minimal will have a PC. So basically, so it means like the debugging information just goes through this pipeline. So we receive it from some board, from debug probe. Then we have USB, and then that's how we receive, probably by UART protocol, we receive the information. Here we have a JTAG. Yep. Platform just needs to know which probe you're plugged in. ESP built in. Well, what if I will say that, like, yeah, I have a built-in option. Go and try to compile my thing. Like, I have a built option. Built in. Yep. And it says actually no unknown tool. Debug tool. It says your current platformio setup does not support built-in USB JTAG for that environment. No, I have ESP32, of course. esp32 board. Maybe it just simply saw that the board is devkit v1 by doit, and it just simply said that it will not support your debug tool. So maybe if I would insert this board, it would actually find the debugging tool. Oh no, don't download, I have very low memory. No. If it will download that thing, like, because it has already occupied a lot of space on my computer. It's like weights like 5 gigabytes or something like that. I'm really like short on space, so I hope it will not clear output. I don't know. No. How to terminate that thing? Just don't want to. Okay, simply do that. Yeah, okay. No, fuck it. Simply fuck it, I don't know. Man, I hate platformio, I hate that thing. Maybe it's useful for if you have like a good board supported chips. Well, probably I will eventually buy a new esp32 because, as you remember, I have a plan. And in plan, one of the projects is walkie-talkie. So for walkie-talkie, you probably need like 2 esp32s, yeah? Obviously, yeah. Of course, we can test it with computer, but probably we need like 2 esp32s. And I guess for this project I will buy a new esp32, like esp32. No, like I will just actually add this information to not forget, simply not forget it. Because as far as I understand, chances that we will debug something. Well, I will explore this question a little bit more, but currently it seems like it's impossible to debug simply using esp32. You need either built-in support of JTAG or buying separate board. One moment. I just simply want to ask him about the debug probe is a JTAG adapter. Yes, exactly. In this concept, debug probe is a JTAG adapter. What debug probe means, plain language. Debug probe is a small piece of hardware that connects to your PC via USB, connects to the MCU via JTAG. MCU, I guess like microcontroller unit, okay. Whereas WD lets the PC halt the CPU. Oh yeah, so probably the problem is that on the lower level, to actually get some information from the program, we have to halt the CPU. And by halt, in previous series we found out that means that CPU stops reading instructions, so it's like in sleep mode. It does not read, it does not fetches any more instructions from memory. So it executes, then it stops, and then we can explore. While it's not halted, we can't really get the any information because we have to interrupt the process of program, and that's actually not possible if program does not register these interrupts. We all know how interrupts works. After the series about interrupts. Damn, that was amazing series. That one too. So probably it won't be possible. Sorry guys, I thought we will debug something today, but seems like no. Hell no, man. Okay, I will just see a little bit more about the plan. Like, yeah. So platformio, that was cool, but well, not that cool. It was like, it was okay. It was okay. So, let be, I know. Let be yellow square, you know. Like, maybe sometime we'll return to it, but damn. Okay, I'm okay with the fact that it's just a simple Visual Studio extension, but I'm not okay with the fact that I have to buy a separate debug probe or JTAG adapter to debug the programs. I understand that probably it's needed, but that's a bit upsetting. Yeah, I'm really a little bit upset now, because I thought I would actually see today, like try to debug the simplest program, but probably no. Are there any ways, any other ways to debug? No, to see memory layout on ESP32, like without JTAG probe pipeline. But you cannot inspect live registers or arbitrary ROM contents without JTAG. So linker map file, best and most accurate authorized memory layout of your firmware. Well, that's not actually what I thought. Well, it's also interesting to analyze how your program actually packs in the ELF file, which sections there are, which addresses there are. Oh no. Like, yeah, which addresses there are. Well, we all know these sections. But the problem is probably not. Well, it's also cool, yeah. So probably it's worth reading ELF file to just understand how the code actually looks like when it's just about to execute in link. Well, firstly link and then execute. Yep. The ELF analysis tool. Spec the firmware offline. Section sizes, memory regions. Yeah, that's also that's like, you know, that's the different part of analyzing the memory. It's more about like memory statistics, you know, how much memory is used in flash, in RAM, in different memory regions, how much your program takes space, which is also important, because microcontrollers are not, well, they don't have much memory, so probably the less your program takes memory, the better. And we can also learn how to optimize your code to actually, yeah, that seems like a good idea. Probably I will try to do that stuff on my own. Maybe I record the separate video, because that looks pretty interesting for me. Flash partition table defined. So there are actually pretty much options here. Well, we won't be able to see like registers and memory updating like in real time, but we'll be able to see like memory usage after the program is, like before the program is compiled and maybe after, like maybe if we can save some log information. That's cool. By the way, I will actually save that ChatGPT answer. I don't know where. I just simply create. Yep. Debugging advice, like memory debug advice. Yeah, cool. So let's get back to the plan. Yep, so that one is okay. What's next? Actually, I'm a bit tired of theory. I would like to do some project, but well, I understand that now it's like a busy time for studying for different things. So probably this time for this will come on winter holidays, I guess. Yeah, or more close to winter holidays. Like when maybe within this week we will already. Because I really want to actually start the project, like, but firstly we have to determine which is the winner here. Yeah. By the way, I haven't actually another idea. Own gamepad to play games. Yeah. So, I guess own gamepad is actually an easy idea, but okay, we'll see. So probably the next plan is that within a week I'll try to start one of these projects, like more close to winter holidays, like in January. But for the next video, probably we'll explore some back to FreeRTOS. Yeah. I completely forgot that we actually started with FreeRTOS. Cause I actually spent like 3 series on hardware timers and interrupts, but it was only for FreeRTOS. So yeah, next time FreeRTOS. Yeah. Okay. 43 minutes. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like, subscribe on my channel, leave a comment. Maybe you have some project ideas. I would be, it would be cool to read. Yeah, and see you tomorrow. Bye.